I'm Jamie from Sci-fi-vision. Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. I very much enjoyed the show. I watched it straight through.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Nice marathon.
Probably
Yeah.
should not admit that, but I did.
No, I love that.
No, we love it.
So, to start off, how did it become a show? Did you find out about the book first and read it and wanted to make it? Just sort of talk about that.
So I completely organically, I was on the subway in New York City about 6 years ago, and I was with my kids, and I think I was pregnant. I saw a girl reading the book like this, that close to her face, and she was so into it, and I immediately just took a photograph, then and I found the book, bought it, read it, and fell completely in love. So I came at it as a fan, but it was just very clear right away that this was something that had to be on television. It felt like an homage to my favorite 80s movies, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and The Princess Bride. And Meredith and I were both obsessed with those movies and also with the story of the real Lady Jane Grey.
When Gemma was looking for a partner to run the show with, it became quickly apparent that we both loved Lady Jane when we were around 13 years old, when you loved the beautiful things that are beautiful but damned.
Yeah.
And then when beautiful depressed.
Yeah.
Depressed.
And I had the Della Roche post, the
On your
painting of
wall.
Jane about to be beheaded from Victorian time. I had it on my wall.
But then you revisit her life a couple of years later, and here's a woman who's so well educated, educated with her cousin, the king, and had so much promise, but was used as a pawn and then summarily beheaded. So the opportunity to give her a different story, one that was in this swashbuckling, delicious tone that is definitely inspired by those movies, was too good to pass up.
Yeah, I love the tone. Can you talk about deciding kind of what to take from the book and what you added or changed or whatever, sort of how you made those decisions?
Well, the essential premise of the book is incredibly clever, and it's, the Ethians and Verities are a metaphor for the religious schism in Tudor England between Catholics and Protestants, but applied against almost any kind of otherism, it becomes really relevant to just the human condition.
It's such a brilliant metaphor.
Yeah, even if you don't happen to know about the religious, problems that England had in the Tudor times. So we knew right away we needed to keep all of that. And then, we had the opportunity to open up the story with more characters, more story, more narratives, invite more people in to join it, age it up a little bit.
But the North Star for us, the North Star for us is always Jane. It's always her emotional journey. It's a young woman with no power getting the ultimate power and what happens next.
Did you know from the beginning you were going to leave the narrator? Because I feel like that's an important part, but that doesn't always work. It works really well here, but it doesn't always. Was that
We
something
always
from the beginning?
we always wanted the narrator. So there were some things we always wanted, like we always wanted to have 60s British invasion bands, and then we would just kind of keep working until they worked. So with the narrator, we wanted to keep that tone of the book and make sure that we could invite the audience in on the joke, which is what you feel when you read the book. You feel like you're in on the joke. You're with these characters in this story. So the narrator, we wrote it into the scripts, and then I would stand next to the camera as a person with a more English accent.
The English-ish accent.
And I would read it out loud during the scene over and over and over again. And
And the
it's a good thing
actors-
I'm not an actor. And then we found Ollie Chris, and he did such a brilliant job. And he is the narrator. He's wonderful.
You mentioned the music too. I think there's some really great songs in this. Kind of hard
Oh,
to
thank you.
Thank you.
We, as Gemma mentioned, we were hugely inspired by the British invasion bands of the 60s and 70s while we were writing the show.
We
But
put
they're
it all
all
into the
awfully masculine.
They're very masculine songs, sung by men.
So with the help of Kira Elwes, our music supervisor, we hatched this harebrained scheme to cover some of them with contemporary English, mostly English, female artists.
Because we're retelling history, British history from a female point of view, so why not retell British musical history?
Exactly.
It all just made sense to us.
And so now we have incredible covers of things like Led Zeppelin's Kashmir and Fleetwood Mac's The Chain.
And Wild Thing.
Wild Thing.
And our intention is to tell the audience this is England and the past, but not as you know it.
Well, it definitely worked. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. I hope that maybe you do another one of these books. I was looking at the different ones she wrote. They look like fun, so I want to see more.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay.